role model for all of us. He's everything that I want to be as a public achievement. This mentor, advisor, just person. So give it up for Trevor.
Woo! Yes,
Thank you guys. I really appreciate you all coming outside. Thought it'd be good to get some sunshine.
Yeah.
Good to get up in this open air. It's a beautiful day we got. What is it, like 75? Not a cloud in the sky. So nice. So, good morning. I am so happy to be here with all of you on this great day for public achievement. We are here with change makers from across the state who are working alongside their respective communities to renew democracy from its roots. My name is Trevor Moore. I am the AmeriCorps Public Achievement Coordinator here at the University of Colorado at Boulder, and I'm so thankful for this incredible opportunity for delivering the keynote address for the 2016 CopaCon. 25 years old, from San Diego, California. This is my 5th and final year with Colorado Public Achievement. And I have to say, I know I'm so sad about that too, but I'll be doing public achievement for the rest of my life, just so you guys are aware. Like that's something I'll do for life. I have to say that it's changed my life and made me 100% of the community leader that I am today. Just 5 years ago, I was struggling as a CU undergrad, searching for my purpose somewhere on this giant campus. And for 8 years prior to that, I was a track and field athlete. When I came to Colorado, I was on the Boulder track team. I had to medically retire after my first year, unfortunately. I had too many concussions. So I'm sorry if I slip up my words a little bit. That's kind of the side effects of that. But at that time, I felt like I'd lost my whole identity. Everything I'd committed to and learned for those 8 years was suddenly over. Or like that. And after that, I found myself in a very tough situation. For the first time in my life, I had to become a full-time student who had forsaken my athletic identity. My grades were not super great, so sports kind of helped me get into college. I switched my major 4 times, failed to pass numerous classes while working to overcome learning and medical disabilities, and at that point I was ready to call it quits. I thought that I could begin working hard on something else that didn't involve me getting an undergraduate degree. And just as I was about to give up, I came across something at CU that changed the course of my education. During the spring of my sophomore year, I discovered public achievement. I found a classroom and a family that cultivated people and encouraged learning in ways the traditional classroom could never give me. Public achievement challenges us to work together, to work with our communities, not for them, and encourages us to share in the spirit of activism and civic engagement with local youth. I came alive that spring, and for the first time in my life, I was able to see the world from a more critical lens and connect with others who shared that same vision. I re-emerged as the leader I truly am through public achievement, which resulted in me standing in front of you all today. Beginning as a coach, becoming an undergraduate teaching assistant, and graduating as the AmeriCorps program coordinator, I stand before you this morning a product of this amazing program. With the guidance of my amazing mentors, I have cultivated a new sense of myself as a citizen that has propelled me into public work, where we are all co-creators that create the change we wish to see in our communities. Today, I want us all to talk about an aspect of public achievement that drives us all to work for more sustainable change: purpose. Educator, philosopher, and civil rights leader Howard Thurman once said, "Don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive. And then go and do that, because what the world needs is people who have come alive." This quote truly exemplifies everyone in this beautiful amphitheater and everyone who works through public achievement to make ourselves and our communities come alive. You all are engaging in some of the most important work in renewing civic life and encouraging public involvement in our society. Each of us is responsible for working to tackle a vast array of community problems covering a variety of aspects of social life. We are the leaders of democracy. We are altering the power dynamic. We are tackling our community's most pertinent issues. We are all united in our vision. The vision of public achievement is to go beyond the work of everyday institutions and co-create responsive communities by grounding ourselves in our collective power in the face of adversity. And just for a moment, I'd like us all to pause and think about a time with our students. And the reflection is this: in your work, when do you see your students come alive? And in what ways does your work activate their passion and purpose? For me, these questions make me think of one student in particular. One of my favorite students, Hector, a dreamer at Columbine Elementary School who experiences similar difficulties in school that I had to overcome. Before public achievement, every Thursday when I play with him at recess, I often hear him say, "It's Thursday! There's public achievement today!" And Hector's enthusiasm reminds me of the excitement and light that I have felt in my heart, and public achievement ignites that same aliveness in him. In our work, we are able to share with our students an environment that is dedicated to supporting all of us in discovering the community issues that cultivate our leadership. It is so important to always return to this question of what brings you alive. Because when we come alive, we inspire that same sensation and purpose in others. Through public achievement, when we can come alive together amongst coaches, with our students, as a statewide movement, this is how we create meaningful social change. And in no way is the work that we engage in easy. In fact, I believe the difficulties we experience are exactly what makes our public work so important. It's vital because in this current day and age, our society faces complex problems that require even more intricate community-based solutions. Our work is invaluable. We are empowering the leaders of today. Our work is influential because for students like my buddy Hector, there may be only one day out of the entire week that makes the rest of the school week worth it. With public achievement, we extend the opportunity to our students to unlock the keys and possibilities of their life's purpose, as the program has done for us. Every day we need to imagine for ourselves and for others what type of society we want to live in. What type of world are we willing to leave to our children? And we ask the youth that we work with to envision this world with us together. Now, I invite all of you to be a part of this visioning process at this conference today. In order for us to delve deeper into our sense of purpose, of striving for the common good, we have to think about our own personal self-interest. And that self-interest lies somewhere between altruism and selfishness. I would like us to challenge and re-examine, re-evaluate our approaches to our community work today. When we operate from our self-interest, we imagine our personal impact in our own wants and goals. But when we expand our purpose beyond the reach of ourselves, we begin to realize that we are amongst others who are all connected in the same way, fighting and striving for the collective benefit. So I'm going to take you guys through an exercise. I'd like you all to reflect together on why we are doing the work with public achievement. Imagine your self-interest, your unique piece of public action, your reason for engaging in the community. Your sentence might sound something like this: I coach with public achievement so that, blank. You fill in that part. Everyone take a second. Think about this on your own. I'm going to give you guys like 25 seconds. Just think about it. I engage with public achievement so that, think about it. Before I delve into unpacking this idea, I'd like to share a quick story with you all about my washing machine situation right now. A couple of weeks ago, I noticed I kept putting my dirty clothes in this machine with the purpose that I would get them back cleaned, as it usually happened. However, I was putting my clothes in over and over again, and they kept coming back in the same way they were put in, dirty. After figuring it couldn't be because my clothes had somehow been exceptionally dirty, I began to investigate what the problem with the washing machine was. I had my clothes, laundry detergent, there was hot water coming out of there just fine. But what I noticed was that the agitator that mixes the clothes around was broken, and it made me stop and think. As simple as this sounds, I think this is a metaphor for our public work and sort of what we do to get our students' brains turning. You can have the right lesson plan and approach. You can have the right materials and environment. You can teach about different issues. But until we agitate and invoke a critical consciousness, you're not going to see that light bulb go off in their heads. They truly won't question or challenge the status quo. The founders of public achievement were willing to agitate the system, agitate youth, and change the course of people's lives, communities, and history. We have to channel that same mindset of agitation in order to delve deeper and uncover the underlying causes that creates these inequalities. Now, just for a minute, let's go back to those self-interest statements. Somebody please embrace the unknown with me and volunteer to share your statement. What did you come up with? Can I get a volunteer? Miles, yeah, what's up?
I coach public achievement so that my students feel empowered.
That's phenomenal. Let's give him a round of applause. That's exactly why. That is awesome. That is why we are all here. That's where we start, with our personal me-oriented goal. Miles, I'm going to agitate you here.
I'm ready.
I'm going to try and take you beyond this mindset of our personal self-interest, and let's try and think much bigger. What if we agitated you all right now in this same way, to change your statement from I-orientated statement to a we-orientated statement, and change our entire outlooks, not just from what you're personally getting out of it, but how the collective community can benefit from our public work. Let's change that to a we. We are engaging in public achievement so that we can. So Miles, you might change your statement from I coach public achievement so that my students feel empowered to we are engaging in public achievement so that we can co-create empowered citizenship. That sounds pretty good, right?
That sounds much better than
That sounds pretty good. So by remaining with statements goal towards me or I, we are shooting for lower than what is ultimately possible. What if we challenge that focus and refocus on the common good? We must move beyond our egos and be open to agitating ourselves. If we are centered around what I am doing for others, we may be unknowingly dehumanizing the students whom we work with. I remember a few years back, I was working with a group of Centaurus High School students who expressed to me that they were struggling with the knowledge that many of their fellow classmates and friends were experiencing homelessness. They too started off with I-orientation thinking. I want to create a public achievement project so that my homeless friends are supported. But we challenged them and agitated them to look further and see that this issue is not just unique to Centaurus, and that homelessness affects not only their friends, but their families, people in surrounding communities, people across the country and across the world. Students realized that their self-interest was aligned with the needs of their community. They were able to fulfill their personal desire to be a helper to their friends while challenging their school community to ensure that all the students' needs were met. And this is what drove them to radically change the course of their campaign and their social justice project, to provide a large-scale impact and solution. They established a resource center, and for those of you who don't know what a resource center is, it's kind of like a food bank, with supplies and food for anyone experiencing homelessness in their school community. And I am happy to say that this resource center is a thriving and pertinent part of Centaurus High School today. As a result of expanding their vision from me to we, they agitated their expectations of what their impact could be and are now on track to expand and support homeless students at the local middle school across the street and potentially other high schools in the area. Some of them are here today, and if we could just give them a round of applause, I think they'd really appreciate that. So please welcome. We do public achievement so that students, coaches, and administrators' preconceived notions of the world are challenged by a more complex idea of who we are, how the world works, and what we are capable of. Every time we inspire our students to think bigger, we are being a challenger of the status quo. We're seeing things from a more critical lens. We need to sacrifice the idea that public achievement will always produce a comfortable result for those involved. Public achievement stakeholders need to be willing to be agitated and agitate in order to truly come alive in our public work. So my 3 lessons to you are this. Challenge the status quo. In societies and schools, we're taught to be individuals, working solely for ourselves to attain our personal goals like grades, the almighty dollar, resume builders, anything that can make us competitive with our neighbor. When we begin to see students not as information banks, but rather budding plants in the garden of life, each capable of producing their own unique fruit, and in order to harvest that fruit, we have to agitate it off the vine. We need to see change in our statements and our orientations in our public action. Only from moving from me to the collective we will we truly emulate transformative change in our public work and produce projects that challenge the status quo. Number 2, be in partnership with others. Focus on the we. If we think like we thought before, centered around ourselves, we're not tapping into our collective consciousness. When we're not open to agitating our mindsets, we may be unknowingly be exemplifying a paternalistic view of saving. I'm asking you to be aware of this dynamic. Be here in partnership with your students, whom you work with, because we truly share the burden in addressing and understanding larger inequalities that affect us all. We have to be sensitive and widen our lenses to encompass the feelings and experiences of others. It's okay if you were previously unaware of this. That's totally fine. However, continuing down this route may insult the very reason why you started serving in the first place. And finally, lead with your heart, your gut, and your soul. Be empathetic with your service. Take on the mind and heart of another being. Always have one eye on the bigger picture. In this way, you will shoot higher and in your expectations in your projects. This capacity to see beyond may even result in aspects of your particular service remaining long after you're gone, like the Resource Center at Centaurus High School. Be in partnership with creating what is not there and strive to fight for what should be there. Trust that your piece is enough for now, and perhaps someone is coming to pick up right where you left off. We are a collective. We begin together, continue together, and end together. Our physical presence will not always be here, but the legacy and impact of how we work together collectively will create and affect the possibilities of future generations and the resources and examples they have to work from. And thus, ladies and gentlemen, challenge the status quo. Be in partnership with others. Focus on the we. Lead with your heart, gut, and soul. Thank you.
Yeah.